Alright, welcome back. Now on this video, I want to respond. Well, I want to base the video on a comment that was left in the comment section. And it's this comment right here. Wait a minute. Okay. This comment right here by Philip Bell. And this comment was left on my video, what was it? About that woman, that African woman, going in on all Africans, talking that black fatigue nonsense. Philip Bell said, when every racial demographic in America and afar says the same thing about our people, maybe there's something to it. He said, our people are not adapting well to being called out in front of the world. Okay, you say maybe there's something to it. Let's look at it. Maybe there's something to what? What other things did they say? Well, one of the things I was talking about in this video that this person responded to, because I imagine that some of the things that this person is talking about is some of the points that she raised. And they all raised the same points. They don't have a broad array of accusations against black Americans. You got to keep that in mind. What are they saying exactly? The only thing they're saying is that black Americans play the victim Olympics. You're perpetual victims. You're victims, you're victims, you're victims. You're always trying to be a victim. Everything, every accusation they have against us has to do with us allegedly projecting ourselves as the victims. Is that true or not? You say maybe there's something to it. Okay. Is that true or not? Because I don't see it anywhere. If you say there's something to it, point me in the direction. Don't say things like, maybe there's something to it. What? Give me some examples. Because I don't see any. You know how people pull up these videos of black people fighting and all this kind of stuff? Pull up the videos of black people saying, oh, I'm a victim. I can't get ahead because of the white man. The white man holding me back. Where are the videos at? Y'all are real skilled. Y'all very skilled at sharing these fight videos and all these other kind of videos. Where are the videos of black people saying, oh, look, I applied for this, I did that, and I'm getting held back by the white man? Y'all provide no proof, no evidence. What am I supposed to conclude? But the reason why people in the United States and afar say the same things is because white Americans say those things. Excuse me, let me take that back. White racists Americans say those things, and all non-black Americans here in America and all people around the world look up to white Americans. Everybody looks up to white Americans. Granted, they acquire some of our culture as well from black Americans, rap, hip hop, R&B and stuff like that. But of course, they put their own spin on it. Whatever. But ideologically and politically, socially, they identify with white Americans. We all know this. And anything white Americans say about us, they're going to believe it. And that's the long and short of it, if you ask me. These people in the United States as well as around the world, they can't provide no evidence either. Make me believe that we are somehow perpetual victims. The only thing people can point towards is some of the behaviors of black women. These stereotypes that they come up with, they always exclusively apply to black women. That's why every video example that they bring up, every person they respond to is a black woman. Your boy Anton seems to just refuse to verbalize that. Virtually every video he responds to as an example is a black woman. For example, welfare. That's a huge complaint of theirs. And remember, they use welfare as an example of being a victim, being lazy and being a victim. They're always going on about welfare. But black men can't get welfare. We can't get food stamps. We can't get no EBT card. It's not black culture to be on food stamps. It's black female culture. We have to work. Black men have to either work or find some other way to generate income. Some of these black men resort to illegal activities like drug dealing. Others get into things, they get into like hustles. Maybe truck driving, that's not really a hustle. But you have to be more independent to become a truck driver, especially if you're an owner operator. And I point that out because I run into a lot of black men who are owner operators. Remember, I deal with truckers for a living. We can't get on welfare. We can't get on Section 8. So they like to complain about how lazy black Americans are, how black Americans are always looking for handouts. None of that applies to black men. We got to go out here and get it. We either have to do it the legal way or the illegal way, but we can't depend on handouts. So none of your criticisms against being lazy, looking for handouts, none of them apply to black men. But yet when people have these discussions, they always direct it towards black Americans, black people. What's happening is black men are being forced to absolve the criticisms aimed at black women. Black women are actually the ones who are guilty of these things, yet people are blaming black men. And that's why I say, y'all gonna have to start making the distinction. I'm not absorbing the things that black women do, especially not stuff like welfare. Your boy just made a video today, people. This is how bad it is. He just made a video today. Wait a minute. About welfare being cut off. Right, they're about to start, or Donald Trump wants to take them off welfare. How many of y'all heard about that? Donald Trump wants to take black women off of welfare. See if I can pull this video up here. Right here. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. This has to stop. I am sick of people dumping black women's irresponsibility on black men, even if slightly. And you know what the case here is? These Negro black male content creators, they scared to point out that these things apply to black women because they don't want to come off as an anti-black female channel because they don't want to lose subscribers and supporters. That's all that is, especially with this dude right here. This spineless dude right here. He'll have a whole panel full of nothing but black women. He is heavily supported by black women. That's why he refuses to make black female issues about black women. And it always becomes a black people issue. And you see, that's what racist white people do. Think about it. When these racist white supremacists, when they're talking about blacks on welfare, blacks being lazy, black playing the victim, they never point out that it's black women. They always project it as a black issue. They don't separate black men and black women. Just like I've been saying for years, how they refer to all black people as niggas. Yet in black America, only black men are called niggas. White people don't do that. And because they wage those accusations of laziness, looking for handouts, and playing the victim, they apply it to both black men and black women via black people, and this is a black problem.
Age from 18 to 7. So I just need to know in August, are we sending them back to school or are we sending them to work? Because if the dependent age is now 7, you trying to say they dependent.
So this lady is responding to Trump's attempt, or he's talking about taking them off of welfare.
All right, let me give y'all a little bit of education so y'all stop looking stupid on the internet. So the dependent...
Who is y'all you talking about? He's talking about, he's saying, when he say y'all, he's talking about black people. So this is another example of him, along with his white overlords, because they do the exact same thing. This is another example of him dumping black women's failures and dysfunctions on black men. But he refuses to verbalize it because much of his support is black females. This is right in line with playing the fence so that you don't lose your black female support.
Age is not changing from 18 to 7 to where you can actually claim the person as a dependent. All right. The dependent age is changing from 18 to 7 as far as you being required.
Shut up.
But the reality is that people are getting on Section 8. They're getting food stamps. They're doing all of this.
You see that? People are getting on Section 8. They're getting on food stamps. No, people ain't. Black men are not. What in the world makes y'all think? What in the world makes y'all think you don't have to clarify the fact that black men are not welfare recipients when you're directing accusations towards black Americans? What make you think? See, that comes from a lack of respect for black men. That's the root of that. You ain't got no respect. So it's nothing to you to dump their mistakes and flaws and errors on us.
school in order to qualify for government welfare or benefits and or benefits. We like to label it as social services, but the reality is that people are getting on Section 8, they getting food stamps, they doing all of this, but they become forever welfare recipients, and Trump is saying that we're no longer going to just give people lifetime benefits and let them pass it on from family member to family member because the system itself.
Ain't nobody passing welfare in Section 8 to me. I don't know what you're talking about. That might happen in black female America. That don't happen with black men. We don't get on this Section 8 and welfare hustle, EBT hustle. Y'all gonna have to start making the distinction. Black men can't afford to take on somebody else's flaws and mistakes. We got enough nonsense being blamed on us as it is. We already called criminal and all this kind of stuff. We're not going to be the face of welfare in Section 8 on top of that. So you better be clear. Always trying to project themselves as intellectuals. You better intellectualize your words and choose your words correctly. Ridiculous.
It's not set up that way. It was never supposed to be that. While you have liberals and Democrats saying that we basically have.
Now you hear this lecture he's giving? This is supposed to be a lecture to black women. And that's supposed to be specified. This is a lecture directed to black women, but he refuses to say it. Instead, he's painting it as a black problem.
And Democrats saying that we basically have to make sure that we give the most vulnerable amongst us. No, it's a whole lot of welfare fraud, a whole lot of social services fraud, where people don't even want to get a job. And if you are able-bodied, you're not old, you're not disabled, you're not a veteran, then you're going to have to go and get a job, especially if your child is above the age of 7. Now,
people don't want to get a job. Black women don't want to get a job. Black women don't want to work. They have said it themselves, they don't want to work. Every single black woman that Kevin Samuels interviewed said, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. Everyone. And he talked to thousands of them. How dare anybody get up in here and not clarify that? You have no respect. That's why I don't let nobody else speak for black men. I feel like I got more respect for black men than the average black man.
Now that we got that out of the way, here's a question that I really have to ask you. Why do you guys want so badly to be dusty? Why do you want so badly to take advantage of taxpayers? I believe that this is evil. I believe that people that look to take advantage of other people and is not using the system or is not using the services as intended. And let me be very clear.
He's talking about lifetime welfare and Section 8 recipients. Who does that apply to? Black men or black women? Again, black men, we can't get it. We can't. They don't give stuff like that to us. We're forced to work to get it out the mud. And we're not getting credit for it. Instead, we get accusations of looking for handouts thrown at us. That BS gonna stop. I don't care if I have to roll up to Detroit. I'm right up. I'm about 45 minutes from Detroit. I told you I'm in a suburb of Toledo. I'm right down the street from Detroit. You jokers out here, y'all gonna stop accusing us of this nonsense. You doing that because you badly don't want to be an anti-black female channel. That's what you're doing. And that's spineless and pathetic. See, I would argue Anton's probably the most of his supporters is black women. A lot of black women support this dude because he sounds so much like Brad. He's going to get support from black women, and he don't want to lose it. That's why he refuses to point out their fuckery. But I'll do it. I got no problem doing it.
I am not just labeling black people or black culture just so it just so happens to be a black woman.
See? He just confessed. I don't want to hear it.
To be a black woman that is speaking ignorantly about this situation and spreading misinformation, which is normal. But I am not just speaking to one demographic of people.
You need to be. The hell's wrong with you? What you mean you ain't talking to one demographic? Who receives welfare at the rate comparable to black women that you talking to? The only closest demographic is white women. They're next in line. They are number 2 as far as this welfare Section 8 recipients. After that, white men. Last on the list, black men. So what's wrong with you? What is you talking about? You ain't talking about one specific demographic. Don't one specific demographic overwhelmingly receive most of these services? Lord.
But I am not just speaking to one demographic of people. Contrary to popular belief, this is not a black issue. This is an issue, and I've seen several people, and I've also done review videos of people that are white on social services getting mad at Trump for kicking them off of social services because they are now being required, or not even kicking them off, reducing the amount that they're getting and then requiring for them to actually meet the expectation in order to continue to qualify for social services. I believe that
my daughter receives one.
Enough of that. Y'all get my point. Sitting up there with a whole bunch of issues that apply to black women, applying them to black men in this indirect kind of way via, oh, it's a black problem. No, it ain't. Now, when you're talking about black women, you're talking about Kamala Harris supporters. Women who were, showing a lot of disrespect towards black men who were voting for Donald Trump. So what is there to call us out about? Remember, one of the biggest criticisms of black Americans by people like Anton is that we're so liberal and on the Democratic plantation. But yet, black men voted for Trump at record numbers. So we're not the people that you're talking about. What was it, like 78% of black men? I think it was around 78, 79% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. And some like 95%, 96, 7, 8% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. Big difference. And, people are they're stuck in projecting black women as the leaders of the black community. So anything they do, they automatically, without even thinking about it, look at it as a black thing. And suddenly black men are included in it. And then we start receiving some of these accusations. No, y'all gonna have to clean your act up. Black men, we gotta stop accepting these blind accusations. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this nonsense right here?
Now, if Vice President Harris becomes the nominee of her party, she'll be the first black woman and person of South Asian descent to lead a ticket.
First black woman to lead a ticket.
CBS News Miami's Tanya Francois went into the community speaking to black women about what it means.
It's the opportunity to make history as a black woman voter, to vote another black woman.
See? Here Kamala was bringing in all these immigrants, giving them our reparations money, disrespecting black people, going in front of national TV saying, I'll never do nothing that only benefits black Americans, but proceeds to do things that only benefit other groups. No problem. This woman, Kamala Harris, could barely put together a complete and coherent sentence. She was talking like an absolute lunatic, Kamala Harris. And black women supported that woman in droves. This proved more than anything else, and I would say the past 20 years, that black women functionally are enemies to black men. They are not leaders. They do not have leadership qualities. And their dysfunction is not our dysfunction.
Into the highest office in the United States of America.
Hearing Vice President Kamala Harris could lead the ticket for the Democratic Party once again stirred minority women voters. According to Pew Research, in the 2020 presidential election, 95% of black women voted for Biden and Harris. The ticket received 92% of the overall black vote.
See that? That's 2020. 2020. 95% black women, 92% of overall black vote. They don't show black men.
We show up and we vote in numbers. When black women show up, our candidate wins, whomever that may be.
We need to work hard now in order to convince.
Notice they don't refer to any policies that they were in support of. The policies they were in support of is stuff like welfare, Section 8, right? Abortions, all the stuff that they throw on black people and make just a black thing. No, it's a black female thing.
The American people to convince 14 million voters that had initially voted for Biden in the primary to now swap that vote out for who is on the ticket as head of the ticket now.
Harris's sorority sisters, along with members of other black Greek organizations, have activated their Get Out the Vote movements.
Just like we did in 2020, we engage, we energize, and we mobilize. We have to get people registered to vote, regardless of party affiliation.
Vice President Harris is
doing all this, making all these political moves without the leadership of black men. And that's how they want it. No, you will not dump the actions of this group onto black men. They have no connection with us outside of sexual. None.
Member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Nefertari just saw Harris at their national convention 2 weeks ago.
Because when we fight, we win.
No. This lady's policies were as anti-black American as it could possibly get. This woman was far more anti-black than Donald Trump. And black women supported this lady just because they called her black. She's not even a black woman. But it had nothing to do with policies at all.
And one of the things that she noted is when we mobilize, we move mountains.
Yeah. And many of their talking points against black America is against this, actually. The support of degeneracy. all the filth that come along with the Democratic Party. Welfare, Section 8, abortions, etc. Almost every criticism hurled at Black America, including black men, is actually a criticism that's against black women. It's actually a violation made by the black female collective, had nothing to do with black men. Just like we don't got nothing to do with Section 8, we don't receive EBT cards. We also don't qualify for any of your other criticisms. So no, there is nothing to it. All these criticisms hurled at black Americans, there is nothing to it at all.
Peace and blessings, family. Dr. Aisha Sekou, CEO and founder.
Wait a minute. If you're going to say, well, maybe there's something to it, if everybody in the world is saying it, maybe there's something to it. If you're going to say that, you would have to also say that those people around the world experience us in person to actually know if these things are true or not, if we always claim to be victims. You got to experience black people to even make that statement. You got to be around several black people every day. And most of the people who make this accusation, they're not around black people all day, every day. And really, the only people qualified to say something like that is black people. People who deal with a lot of black people every single day, and it's been doing it for years. That's why people in the grassroots need to speak out, because we're really the only ones that have.
Dr. Aisha Sekou, CEO and founder, Street Corner Resources. Why are we here? We are here to stand, not just here, but to stand through the duration, through the storm, with Kamala Harris for president.
Did y'all hear that? Listen to this. Listen to this.
We make history.
Oh, it's personal. It's personal, and we will not be taking it for granted.
Now, hours after the announcement, there was a Zoom call with 44,000 black women. In less than 3 hours, they raised more than $1 million in all.
How's that for support for Kamala Harris? They had a Zoom call after Biden dropped out. How many black women were on that Zoom?
The women in hours after the announcement, there was a Zoom call with
44,000 black women. They raised over $1 million in 3 hours. How's that for black female support for Kamala and the Democrats? So we are not on the same page politically or economically. Black males and females are pretty much two different demographics. There is really no such thing as no black community based on that fact. Now listen to this ignorance. Tell me where they talk about policies. Tell me where they talk about anything other than their emotions, their feelings, and, black representation.
Through the storm with Kamala Harris for president. We can see it, we feel it, and we are standing. Yes, yes.
I'm here for my niece. I'm here for my mother. I'm here for my grandmother.
I'm here for my niece, my mother, my grandmother. I bet you are. All the women in your family, huh? Say that again. See how deep feminism is in black America? This is the norm, mind you. They always are this biased towards their own gender. They totally absorb the gender war, gender propaganda. And it really ain't no gender war. It was just black women attacking black men.
I'm here for my mother.
Mother.
I'm here for my grandmother.
Grandmother. Really? Why wasn't father followed after you said mother? Why wasn't grandfather followed after you said grandmother? Before you move on, that's the appropriate thing to do. When you remove your father, when you remove your grandfather, it's because you wanted to. And why would anyone do that?
I'm here for my mother. I'm here for my grandmother. I'm here for my cousins.
Mother, grandmother, cousin.
I'm here for the little brother.
Wait a minute. Did she say nieces too?
Niece. I'm here.
My niece. Why don't you say nephew too? That's the instinctive thing to do.
I'm here for my niece. I'm here for my mother.
My niece. My niece, my nephew, my mother, my father, my grandmother, and put the fathers first. Nephews and nieces. I'm here for my father and mother, grandfather and grandmother. Seeing that we are the heads of the household, we are the leaders, mention us first accordingly. The lack of respect and really the hatred for black men is so deep in the black female collective. But let's continue.
I'm here for my grandmother. I'm here for my cousins. I'm here for the little brothers and the little sisters.
Don't start with that, brothers, now. See, she caught herself. She realized how biased she was being and threw in one black person. And it had to be what? A boy. Not a man. No male figure, no father figure. But a vulnerable, helpless boy that she can dominate. Oh, that's their spirit. They totally absorbed that feminism. They totally absorbed it. They're actually the leaders of it. They quickly became the leaders of feminism, and they are far more hardcore feminists, and always have been, than white women, because they've always hated their natural counterpart far more than white women. That's why I don't listen to these content creators who say that, hey, you don't see white people doing this. Yo, you don't see Brad doing that, so why should we do it? You don't see white people doing this, so why should we do it? You don't see Brad doing a lot of things. And you see Brad doing a lot of things that we shouldn't be doing. Ain't got no business doing. Hell, you don't see Brad out here telling other Brads to stop dating white women. It's because they don't need to. Of course, we don't see them doing a lot of things. They're not in the same economic and social position as we are. But let's continue.
And the little sisters that may not be able to be here, and I want you all to tell everybody that every vote counts.
Black women rule. We're going to make this country a democracy, whether they like it or not.
Black women rule. And there ain't hardly nothing but black women out there. And the black men out there are weak, soft, submissive. Black women are always the voice. They are always the ones speaking. And they're always the ones that need to not speak. Need to be quiet.
And why are you walking with us? Black woman, because I'm a human being.
She said a black woman. Again, did you hear the policies here? Or did she just say black women rule?
And why are you walking with us? Black woman, because I'm a human being, because I believe in truth, and I believe in Kamala Harris.
Yeah, and all emotions. Nothing but emotions. Not a damn policy, not one. And notice how disconnected they are from how disrespectful Harris has been towards blacks. telling you, black women's alignment with white supremacy is mind-blowing. Bringing all these immigrants over here, giving them our reparations. They have been spitting in our face. Kamala and the Democrats. No other politician in history has ever done that. Running for office, gets in front of national television and says, I will never do anything that will only benefit this group. Kamala broke a record when she did that. And it didn't leave even a slight dent in black women's emotions. Because that's a white supremacist, racist thing to say, and black women have been allied with white supremacy. I need to reopen my SBW channel. It's looking like I'm going to have to do that, where I need to exclusively focus on the actions of black women. Because my work here online has never been about bitterness. It's never been about hatred. Because, like I said, there's nothing biologically wrong with black women. In fact, biologically, they have an advantage over the rest of the women in the world. Physically, biologically, motorically, developmental-wise. And this has been confirmed and publicized by white scientists and whatnot. It's their beliefs, the indoctrination, the brainwashery, the demonic possession. I mean, that's worse, man. It's like a rap. This is why I said it makes sense for black men. I can see black men. I'm surprised as many black men are still dating black women as there is. But I saw this coming a long time ago. Like, black men are not going to put up with this. They just going to look for something else. Whatever downside come from dating outside your race, black men are just going to be like, oh, I'll just deal with it. Because dealing with that is a whole lot easier than dealing with this.
I believe in truth, and I believe in Kamala Harris. We're out here to support our new president, Miss Harris.
We're not gonna say
Look at it's all a sister girl thing. The neck rolling. The Cinnabons in the stomach. Food in their back. Attitude. Not a single policy they talking about.
We're not gonna say Miss Harris, President Harris.
Hello. President Harris, I like that.
I would say I'm out here because I just want to make sure that the orange man does not get reelected.
That the orange man doesn't get reelected. You're listening to truly a group of women who are not leaders. This is scary. This is actually scary. And this is the group of women who lead the whole country in mental illness. So y'all looking at this, not this insanity that comes from them, and you're saying it's a black thing. No. Y'all not pinning all this madness on us, on black men. And this is exactly what y'all trying to do.
Don't drown in that excitement because there's a lot of work ahead. And we got to get this work done.
Your boy Anton looks at this and says, oh, black people, black people. And listen, these black males that follow these women, man, it's a wrap for them.
Get in play and get in place in time to mobilize and get our community out for that November 5th election. Standing in the
I hadn't got that far in the video, or else I didn't expect that.
We're standing in the vision. No Trump, Kamala for president.
See, look, Jillian, don't even know what to say. Just crazy. Crazy is cat shit. That's what you're talking about. Y'all looking at this and saying, oh, look at the leaders of the backbone of black community. Nah. They ain't leading me. Not even a little bit. In no way whatsoever. Yeah, that might be auntie and them, but auntie and them ain't no leader of me. They just doing their own crazy thing.
For president. Kamala.
They're gonna done forgot her name. They just see an Indian. And of course they're gonna call an Indian woman black. Call anybody black.
All day. Women rule. Women are standing. Yes. And we see
Not a man in sight. This is crazy. This is crazy. Look at their behavior as they go extinct. Overweight, masculine, bragging about being alone, claiming to rule something. Sad.
see the vision. We have that vision. That's right.
All the black women are lining up. We are out here today. We are together. We are one.
Black women from Harlem. For Kamala Harris.
I can't take this no more. I can't take that no more. Okay, what's this dude talking about? Oh, that's Preacher Pork Chop. See, that's the type of black man you got in that community. Real black men really don't live in the hood. They either don't live in the hood or they're on their way out because they're hard workers and they value the things they possess and they understand they need to be in a better neighborhood. You see, there's two different black communities. You got the black female community and the black male community. Excuse me. Yeah. Black men. Black men. We have our own community. So, sort of. We ain't in that hood. I've been working hard for decades. I refuse to live in areas like that where I'm really a target for robbery and I gotta be on high alert at all times. No, thank you. Black men, do you want this insanity, this craziness to represent you? I don't see why more black men are not uncomfortable with this madness right here being thrown on them. And that's what society is doing. Along with their minions, the Tethers, the Coons. I expect non-blacks and people around the world to be against us because white Americans are the most influential white demographic on earth. And really, they may have more influence than black Americans. Black Americans and white Americans are the most influential two groups on the planet, and it's by a long shot. It's by a long shot. There are hundreds of countries who watch us on TV. We don't watch none of their stuff on TV. They not only watch us, they know our language. We don't know their language. That's the foundation for influence. That's why these women cross seas be brat worshipers. It's that influence that comes from America. So I expect much of the outside world to co-sign with the racism that comes from white America. There's nothing surprising about that. No, there's nothing to it as far as being truth, because honestly, I don't even hear black women in discussions talking about the white man holding me back. They don't talk like that. Yeah, they're dependent. Yeah, they're, on Section 8 and welfare, but they don't talk like that. They chasing Brads. Ain't talking about Brad holding me back. Y'all literally not hearing that from nowhere. Because I'm telling you, it originated with white supremacists. These 4chan type white supremacists. Oh, you blame whites for all your problems and all your failures. No, we don't. I don't ever hear conversations like that. You don't get a promotion, you automatically say the white man hold me down, even though that actually happens. So is it really playing the victim? If these things actually do happen, there are cases where the more qualified black worker doesn't get the promotion. There are cases where the more qualified black applicant doesn't get the job. That actually does happen. But y'all actually try to wag the finger at those same people when they mistakenly or accidentally assumes that it happens. That's petty and pathetic. And the real problem in that scenario is the system that's putting all that in place. So the real victims are being accused of pointing out that they are victims. That's all I see happening. And every now and then they make mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. They might assume quite often, hey, that was racism, but it really wasn't. Oh, that was a situation of racism, but it really wasn't. But they're not always wrong. And that's really the point. That's really the bigger picture. But the people who don't want to be held accountable for it, they point that out as the problem. It's just a deflection. So yeah, please be specific. Stop, especially with other black men, be slow to throw dirt on our image, on your image, dummy. Don't get to the point where you think when you walk outside, you ain't black, you ain't no black man no more. Yeah, you might sit online and spit some knowledge, but don't let that go to your head. You walk outside thinking that the world see you as some type of enlightened monk. Nah. So don't expect me to stop. As y'all see, I'm kind of locked in. I'm gonna stay locked in. If my platform is gonna grow, it's gonna grow by me talking about these issues. Stop with the attacks on black men's image. We can't take no more. This has been going on at least since the late 80s. And y'all know it go back further than that. This has been going on for far too long. It's really time for maximum pushback. And I'll land my plane there.